Welcome to On Blast. On Blast podcast is Duluth, Minnesota's first cultural plus and culturally controversy podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Green, and I go by Dree, and this is On Blast. On Blast podcast is a production of the Neuroblast Entertainment music label and the great people at On Blast Podcast, LLC. Click, like, share, subscribe. It costs you no money unless you're acting funny. And what we're going to do right now is what we do every episode, and that's bring recognition to these sponsors. We're going to pay some bills right quick and get that behind us so we can jump on into On Blast. This is episode number 10. Episode number 10 is brought to you by the great people at Drip 101 Clothing. For all your designer needs, big or small, check them out. They actually move locations. They're no longer on the 1st Street, Duluth, Minnesota, right next to the Legacy Glass Shop. They're no longer there. They went ahead and converted over to an online full retail store now. So check out the website, neuroblastentertainment.com, or the drip101.com clothing website, and go from there. They carry brands like Aku, Miss Me, Hustle Gang, Evolution. That's the great people at Drip 101 Clothing. My next sponsor, I know we're out of season with them, but you might want to hold on to this number because, you know, winter comes back around here in no time. And that's the great people at the North Shore Snow Blaster Snow Removal Service. For all your snow removal needs, big or small. For all those mornings that you can't even open your front door or get to the garage or get to your car or even move your car, you know what I mean? Call them and you could do so for an estimate or a quote. They're only servicing the Duluth and the Superior area, and you could give them a call at 218-464-1525. That's 218-464-1525. That's the great people at the North Shore Snow Blaster Snow Remover Service. And lastly is my big boy sponsor, my presenting sponsor, and it's the House of Healing of Duluth. The House of Healing of Duluth is the men's sober home. They're ranked number 1 in the state for a reason, and they're changing lives there. If you need their service, go ahead and hold on to this number. Give them a call, talk to a house supervisor, and see what you could do from there. See if there's room for you there, or if there's somewhere else they could suggest someone in your particular situation may have to go. And you could call them at 218-343-0460. That's 218-343-0460. And if you want to email them, you can as well. And you can email them at houseofhealingduluth@gmail.com. Not only does the House of Healing sponsor the podcast, but they also sponsor the Sober Shoutout, which we do every week or every other week. What we do with the Sober Shoutout is bring recognition to people that change their lives around and they're still going strong, and we hope it continues to help them, moving forward in that direction and whatnot. We love being a part of it. The House of Healing is changing lives. They're my big boy sponsor. They got me on the podcast. They got my back out here anywhere else. So it's like, check them out, call them, save their number if you need them. They're only a phone call away. You know what I mean? It starts there. It starts there for everyone. Sobriety is everywhere, people, and they can be a big asset in you being the best version of you that you need to be. That's the House of Healing Duluth. And now that we got all of that out the way, again, click, like, share, subscribe. We're going to jump right into On Blast. And this episode, again, our episodes aren't really big. We just stay current with current events and stuff that's happening around here in that, in that order and vice versa. So right now we're going to talk about what's going on with Michael Jordan and the Charlotte Bobcats, the Hornets. Not the Bobcats, the Hornets, and how he just sold his portion and his shares of the franchise to none other than J. Cole. Not only was this a big pro for hip hop, but a pro for like the culture. But it's just like, it's like this, you know what I mean? That's what you're supposed to do. You ride hip hop and you use it as a platform to build up your brand. Now that's opening up vessels and lanes in other directions. When these hip hop artists now could buy, their hometown teams and whatnot, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Break out in other direction, make money in other lanes. You know what I mean? Rub elbows with other owners. But what better else than Michael Jordan, who sold his portion of the Hornets to J. Cole and to Eric Church for about $3 billion. So he is now, a shareholder of the Hornets. So shout out to J. Cole. Again, I thought this was newsworthy, and he did it in fine fashion. You know what I mean? J. Cole is a beast. Not only is he lyrically, his penmanship is ridiculous, but he's showing that he's smart he's smart in the real world though too. He knows how to sit in these offices with these people and, you know, chop it up with these people and go over stock and this and that and all this other shit. You know what I mean? Big pro for hip hop, big positive for J. Cole. Shout out to him now being owner of the Charlotte Hornets. That's crazy. Shout out to that whole movement and everything that's going on around there. I know people there down in Charlotte in North Carolina are ecstatic about that. J. Cole, shout outs to you, and we'll see what they do next season. We'll see. We'll be monitoring them and whatnot. Well, I bet you we'll be seeing you a lot now courtside and whatnot. So shout out to J. Cole. Our next subject here isn't so, you know what I mean, it isn't so positive, you know what I mean. We gotta pay respects and pay homage to another fallen rapper and a huge contributor to hip hop and what he's done for the hip hop movement in their own style down there. I'm gonna get right into it. But Milton Powell, born November 29th, 1974. Better known and more known by his famous stage name, and that was Big Pokey. He was a boss in the music world, you know, down in Houston, Texas. Pokey was an original member of the Screwed Up Clique, you know what I mean? And he began rapping with Houston producer DJ Screw in the early 90s, you know what I mean? When I started really listening to Houston rap and whatnot, I was always a Scarface fan. Everyone kept the Scarface poster, CD, album, this, that, you know what I mean? But I really started getting more strong with it when, like, you know, Paw Wall, Mike Jones, Slim Thug, all of them Chameleonaire started climbing, you know what I mean? When they started bringing, you know, recognition to Houston, that's when I started to, like, actually spend money on their music more, you know what I mean? But before that, Big Pokey's hand was in everything. He was a beast. He's a front runner, a forefather of the whole screwed up and chopped up, you know, whole ensemble that, you know, that Houston rappers, you know, that was their style. And he was among the best at it. So R.I.P. Big Pokey, and we're going to keep listening. You know what I mean? Your music's going to live on forever. Moving topics. Not so positive again. Brooklyn rapper Casanova was sentenced to 188 months, which is a little shy under 16 years in prison Wednesday after previously pleading guilty to his federal charges on racketeering conspiracy and his federal charges on narcotic conspiracy. Hold your head. We're going to hear from you next time when they let you out, bro, but you're going to be sitting down for a while. And again, you know, Casanova was, you know, he's another heavy contributor to hip hop. He had a big movement out there, you know, on the East Coast, over there in Brooklyn and New York and whatnot, you know what I mean? And a lot of, you know, Brooklyn and East Coast rappers, you know, they get a lot of publicity, a lot of, like, you know, a lot of people look at them. You know, you got a lot of business and record labels out there in the East Coast over there, you know what I mean? Just like you do on the West Coast. So he was in the mix heavily, but, you know what I mean? This is what happens when you slipped up. Hold your head, Casanova. We're going to see you when you get out here in a few years. More than a few, 16, goddamn. Moving forward, Madonna, the material girl. Madonna was forced into a serious battle for her health after suffering a bacterial infection that sent her to the ICU. So this didn't cancel her tour, but it's on hold right now. How long, we don't know, but we just know the material girl has a bacterial infection. Where? Who knows? How? No one knows, but she's out of commission right now. Tour's on hold, and she's in the ICU. I really do wish Madonna the best. I had a crush on Madonna in the earlier years. Them cone titties and shit like that. My mom had them albums. You know what I mean? I'm looking at that shit like, this bitch, she is gorgeous. You know what I mean? But now, and I'm not going to drift too far about, you know, off subject with her and her bacterial infection that she got right now, but I'm looking at Madonna. You know what I mean? And when I was researching this on this segment, I'm looking up her shit. Okay, was she in the hospital? For what? You know, for how long? What was the source? You know what I mean? What is going to be the outcome? Blah, blah, blah. This. I'm looking at all this shit, right? But I'm looking at pictures of Madonna now. It's like, what the fuck happened? This plastic surgery is going too far. It's going too far now. Okay? This plastic surgery has to stop at some point in time. I don't know. You know what's... You know, I'll be the first to tell you, man. I'll be real with you on blast. When a woman is maturing, it's hot. It's cool to mature with your age and look that way. When you have to do all these enhancements so you can feel better about you, but then the outcome does not look anything like you thought it was gonna be, is a whole nother discussion and problem. Madonna, like, leave your face alone, girl. Little Kim, leave your face the fuck alone, girl. You know what I mean? All y'all leave your face the fuck alone. You know what's cool when you're 50 or hitting 50? Looking 50. Instead of all that plastic surgery, everything's pulled back, and it's like, you know what I mean? It looks weird, man. It's like Madonna looks like a devil. I was like, what the fuck is that? You know, and then I'm looking at her daughter, Lourdes, because Lourdes looks just like Madonna did when she was younger. Her daughter looks just like her. I'm looking at Lourdes like, you know, that's what she used to look like. Look on your phones right now and search what Madonna looks like. She went from that to that. Why? I don't know. But we hope you get out the hospital soon. We hope, you know, that bacterial infection clears up and we can move on from there. Right now, attention all artists. Any artist near and far, near in town. If you want to harness your craft on being a better musician, a better artist, and put depth into your career on the music level, let us know. Here at Neuroblast Entertainment, we got you. We can help you out with artist management. We can help you out with promotion. We can help you out with studio time. We're the pros here. Give us a call. You can give us a call at 218-389-1899. That's 218-389-1899, or send us an email at infinitemoney612@gmail.com. I'm gonna tell you right now, you haven't recorded in a studio like this. We're centrally located right out west on Grand Avenue, 6317 Grand Avenue, for all your music needs. Let us know. We'll book you in, and I'm telling you, you will be pleased here. They're the pros here. Be prepared when you come over here. Whatever they write out for you financial, like what you got to come up with money, that's on you to come up with. There is no ifs, ands, and buts around that. But if you are looking to take your career further and put more of an investment into your music career, Neuroblast Entertainment could definitely help you out with that, and they could definitely help you out with anything else you may need on that level. So Neuroblast Entertainment, 6317 Grand Avenue, 218-389-1899. Call us. We're always here. We're always available, and you know, the studio is always open for you know, true talent, for people that really are serious about doing this. That's what we're here for. Neuroblast Entertainment. And we're going to move on to our next segment, and we're going to give another few shout outs, and then we're going to call it quits for the day. You know, I was searching. Everyone's talking about this submarine, the Titanic submarine thing. That's, you know what I mean, the implosion of the Titanic submarine that went too fucking far down. It's like this, you know what I mean? We've seen this before. Remember in the was it the mid 80s, early 90s, when that rocket ship blew up in front of everyone, and everyone saw those people and those astronauts lose their life like that on live TV, on national TV? This was kind of the same thing. So I'm not going to say it's any better or worse or anything like that, but I will say this. We have no fucking business going down in the water that fucking deep. You know what I mean? It's a true statistic. We know more about going up to our hemisphere and our outer space limits than going that far down deep in the water. They're about 13,000 feet deep, okay? That thing went all the way down to like almost 50,000 feet deep. The life form down there, they say, is almost extraterrestrial. We got no business going down that deep. I understand things are in the name of science, in the name of discovery, in the name of innovation, and see how, you know, far we sit among humans to anything else. I understand all that, but we're fucking around in depths that, like, you know what I mean, we know nothing about. You know what I mean? So shout out to the families of the lost loved ones that were in that submarine. They're pulling out the rubble right now. The black box is unreal. There's a black box, of course, down there. They're all talking. You hear these big boom, 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 like big boom, big booms, big knockings, big like smashings against the submarine. They're scared as shit. You know what I mean? It's like, we got no business going down that deep. You know what I mean? We know nothing about that. We know more about outer space than going down that deep in water that you know, men really haven't been before. So, you know, everyone's talking about this shit. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? It's the first time they decided to go down that deep. They supposedly built this submarine that was indestructible, and now they're pulling that thing up in pieces. We know nothing about that shit down there. Okay? So, again, On Blast Podcast, Neuroblast Entertainment wants to pay our respects to the families of the ones who lost their lives in that fucking submarine. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? I understand it's all in the name of science. It's all in the name of you know, that whole notion. But it's like, when people are losing their lives because we know nothing about the shit down there, it's just like, it's time to leave it alone, or wait for shit to evolve a few more years or times, and what common ground will you know, allow us to, like, you know, study more before we send people down there to their deaths. You know what I mean? But it's a whole fucked up situation, and I don't know if anyone else has been following that, but I have. But that submarine, they're pulling out I watched that. They're pulling out the water. It's like, dude, do you see how that thing is just like a fucking, it was like someone literally took it and went like that to it, and like left it alone. So I'm following this stuff because it just intrigues me. You know what I mean? It's just like, it is what it is. It's nothing positive, these people losing their lives, but, you know, I mean, everyone's talking about this Titanic submarine, and you know, I mean, what was supposed to be like pretty much indestructible got wrung out like a towel. It's nuts. But that's all we have really for today and whatnot. We're gonna give another shout out to the Legacy Glass Shop. They're huge, whatever, allies with the On Blast podcast. Shout out to them. Go check them out for all your glass and smoking needs. They're centrally located, 28 West 1st Street, right next to the old Drip 101 clothing store. They're big supporters, and we support them, and we're gonna keep doing so to the utmost. So shout out to them. Shout out to Drip 101, the North Shore Snow Blaster Snow Removal Service. Shout out to the House of Healing and the On Blast podcast. My name is Adrian Green. That's all really what we had for today, and we're gonna talk to you guys next time. Stay safe. It's finally nice outside. It hit 80 degrees today. I'm happy. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you next time.